guys, I'm going to be doing a quick late night tutorial on the layer settings in SAI. So I have this new layer here over top all of my other things. These layers are really good when it comes down to things like rendering at the end. Where you see my mouse is, there are 5 different options. I'll go through each one, sort of. Let's start with the binary color. This one, all it is black. So you have something like that, or so you want to do blue, still comes out as black. It's not even a different tone of black. This, I think, is good when you want to do like really blocky stuff, because when I zoom in really close, or it's not even that close in, but you can see it's quite pixely. Here, let me use an airbrush. But yeah, you can see the little pixel jagged edges at the end, and there. So this can be good for, I guess, things like maybe pixel art if you want, if you have it on a really small canvas, or you could just use a binary pen for that, but if you want to use binary layer, you can. I don't really use this quite often. The next one we can have is multiply. Multiply is kind of like shading. So say you have red, and you click on red, and it's the same color of red, but once you draw it on, it's a bit darker. Oops. But what you can do with multiply is you can like choose a darker shade of purple, I guess, and you can go in and you can shade the edges here. And this can be very good when it comes down to things like rendering at the end. And another thing that I like to use similar to multiply is more used for shading and stuff. This is something called overlay. I also use overlay for shading. I have it very dark, and so you can have a gradient on here. And as you can see, it looks a bit darker, but what it's actually doing is it's pretty much just when you go into filter, brightness, and saturation, and you just make the color really deep, that's pretty much what it's doing. I think it's also playing around with the saturation a bit, but if you do a lighter color like white, it comes off a bit lighter and almost luminescent, but not quite. The next one we can have is screen. I don't really use screen too often, but what I've noticed with it is, let's not use white as an example. Let's use the same color of brown. What I've noticed with it is when you draw it on, it's sort of like luminescence, but a bit lighter. It kind of gives it a pastel-y look, if I were to say. And if you were to, yeah, so a bit vibrant to a certain extent. The next one is Luminosity. I like to use this one a lot, because this one is when it comes down to things like shading, or highlights, so you would do something like that. And it helps highlight the piece pretty much. This is at pretty low density, but you can also do like airbrush here, and that can come out as a really strong white. But you can also do certain colors. So if you want blue to show up, see, if you draw on white, you don't really see it, but if you draw on black, you will see the blue when it comes down to things like luminescence. And this is good because you can have blue, and you can do that, and it gives it a little blue tinge.